I was reading about Shebeens yesterday because we was trying to.
Okay, way back.
I know. We're going.
Shebeens, you know, that's how he's going. That's
I
where
know.
he's
Listen, I
starting
came
off
with the research. Listen,
Shebeens,
I had one
wow.
job.
Wow.
They gave me the assignment, and
I'm only 24. No, so old.
my name is Iyu, okay, and this is Rhythm Lab Records, and we're doing a Black History Month project, and for that project, I'm interviewing legendary MC Mad Rush and Ethan, and we're going to be talking about Black history, the heritage and history of Black music in Manchester, how that has transformed, how that is going to influence their music, and then we're going to watch them make some tracks. It's going to be very exciting for us. When did you start producing?
14, 15.
You started producing at 14.
15, and I'm 27 now, or just turned 27. When I was growing up, I was always attracted to a soulful sound, always, and I quickly noticed that it wasn't the sound that I found often in British music as much. I just loved how black it was. I love that. It's like when you're chopping up, like, I don't know, Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, or anyone like that. It's like there's a certain sound in the 70s that, James Brown. There's a certain era, like a really smoky sound you get from music that you just don't get from a lot of things, and like that's why the whole world samples it. Drum and bass samples it everywhere. It samples that era because there's something really special about it. I really don't know, but
100.
I've got a few friends that are a bit older, so they tell me a lot about hip hop and what it was like, and it was really segregated, and it was really hard to just be different. But before then, if you were doing like the old school hip hop stuff, a lot of people actually thought you were corny. You know what I'm saying? They were like, "Oh, you do on some American stuff? Oh, we don't like that." Do you know what I'm saying? But for me, it was just, I grew up in the countryside, so I had no affiliation with anything. It was either good or bad music to me. The main thing I get still to this day is it's great, but it sounds American. Like I get that a lot. All the artists I work with are nearly, they're always British. I work with some American artists, but I don't think I do anything that's like overtly American, because making a drill beat is the same. It's still American. It's still from Chicago, or making anything with an 808 still comes from Atlanta and DJ Toom or whatever. It's still, you know what I mean. But the way people decide to box it in happens to be like, you're doing the American music.
It's my race, smile upon my face. Every day a proud thing I have to embrace. You got that. All right, because I was the DJ first. Innit? So, for me, it was house parties, and then when I got my first actual DJ set, it was Vogue nightclub on Portland Street.
Okay.
And even then, I was 17 years old. Like 17 years old, I just come from London, and like my first records was like Manchester artists like 808 State, guy called Gerald. So it was I was at a club called Vogue, and got my first DJ set, and that's when I dropped my first jungle tune. But then they stopped the music because the response to the music that I was playing, because you gotta understand, when I came up it was a lot of piano house music and commercial house music, and that's not what the people wanted to hear. People didn't want to hear that.
They wanted something a bit rougher.
Yeah, they wanted to hear something underground, something that they can relate to and stuff. What I was listening to London was not what they were playing in Manchester at the time, or they had it in Manchester but weren't allowed to play it in Manchester at the time. All right, the whole Shebeens thing was basically where black people could basically get to go and hear the music that they wanted to hear, and go and enjoy themselves and be linking up together as a group, and have a drink, have us all can listen to the music and catch a good vibe, because some of the clubs that were open weren't having certain music, wasn't allowing black people to congregate together, and they used to just think it's trouble.
Yeah.
At one point they wouldn't have jungle music in Manchester at all, and they closed the events down, and they didn't like black people in one club together, you know, all we was doing was enjoying ourselves, but they just seen, you know, people hitting speakers with the side of the speakers and jumping up around and shouting.
Sounds so much fun.
That was it was fun for us in there.
100%.
But events and, you know, promoters and stuff, they would, you know, like old club owners were like, no, it's too much. They got worried. They all got panicked. So things were just done, you know, Shabins were a bit of a lifesaver to keep the underground stuff going and everything.
Yeah.
So hence going into Vogue, and I played the jungle music and everything, and it just went absolutely wild off. They must have, the promoter, I remember what he said to me. He said, please don't continue playing this song. Stop this song now, because he didn't like the response of how the crowd were. And all they were doing,
crazy.
they were going, what they must have heard the tune or track on radio, and they were waiting for someone to play something like that. And all it was just a response of they were happy, they were going wild,
Yeah.
but the promoter couldn't handle that. Now it's a massive thing. Now jungle drum and bass is a massive thing now. It's acceptable all over. I think there could be more black producers, black DJs, black artists, black label owners doing it now than there is now. But then when I sit back and think who the originators are of the whole thing, they are black DJs, black producers, black artists, black label owners. But now it seems as like there isn't enough now, as in going forward. Now I'll just be upfront and honest. It's more like
Please.
white DJs, white producers and stuff who have taken the genre forward.
I read a quote from you. Music is the only thing the Home Office can't mess with me about. They can't stop me writing songs.
Yeah, it's true, man.
And I wanted to explore the story behind that.
I've been here for 43 years. I've worked with young people for over 13 years. Yeah, I've worked, paid all my taxes, insurance, everything. I've got 4 children. And because I had an incident which put me in imprisonment for 12 months, they've trying to use that against me and trying to remove me out the UK. Listen, England, sorry, no matter how much I've been here for 43 years, yeah, like England, America, I've just got a history of going to other places and taking history, you know what I mean? Because they haven't got a history of their own in it, you know what I mean? And I'll just leave that as that at that point, as in,
Yes.
the only way that we're going to be able to move forward, anything's going to be able to change, move forward, is if we all stand up and speak, boom, come together. It's going to be 3 years in March, man. 3 years in March. 107,000 people signed a petition. 63 MPs got together to stop them deporting 50 of us on a plane. And one thing the government don't like is people that can make noise. I think a lot of artists can use their platform to speak out about these things, but then a lot of artists are very careful about speaking about stuff on their platforms because they know that it could do damage to them on their platforms and careers could get finished like that.
Yeah.
And
It's very tepid.
it's
Singular mindset that we have. That's like
Yeah,
in
that's
our
it.
community. It's like we have such a singular mindset about everything we do,
yeah,
and a lot of other communities have a very they're community based with
Together.
even if it's marrying to
Together.
marriage to but black people a lot of the time in the diaspora. I'm not going to talk about like African people still have that a lot.
Yes.
Because I see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but as like
I see it
Jamaicans, we're kind of like a little
Singular,
bit
innit?
culturally
Like,
all over the place because we don't know. We drag a lot from it, so we're always like our own. Like we can get to the top of the mountain, but if you're Jewish, if you're this, it's like we can do this together.
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
bring
yeah,
each
yeah,
other
yeah,
up.
yeah,
We can,
yeah,
and black
yeah.
people need to get that idea back to us. That's
Yeah.
and we need to just have that across all boards. So
Yeah.
owning labels
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sign
yeah,
of art.
yeah.
It's not just I'm gonna make my music, get rich, and then I'm gonna live on top of the hill.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make a label. I'm gonna make a school. I'm gonna make a whatever, and then have it so then our whole community can, pull each other up. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't think so singular. Like, just think community based with everything that you do, and I think you'll be in the music game
that's
for a
it,
long
that's
time,
it.
man.
feel like working with someone who you've not worked with a style you haven't worked with before? It took you out of that comfort zone and kind of rejuvenated your
I just
idea.
hearing things I ain't heard before on a mic, do you know what I'm saying? Hearing different voices and different sounds and styles. And me, I like that, like, I like producing around someone, so I feel like he brought out the best in me, vice versa, you get what I'm saying? So,
How do we feel about bringing the conversation you had before, bringing the elements of that conversation into the music that you made? How do you feel that process worked, and what do you think you have learned from doing that?
Well, look, the history has always been there, innit? It's inside us, innit? It's from our parents, from our foreparents, it's from our grandparents. It's our culture, isn't it? So we're passionate about what we do, and you know, Ethan's next generation of the music, from where I'm the generation before him of the music. So there's both of us together, you know, and you can only, like, I don't know, the music's doing the talking, innit? Rather than us, because when you put me on the spot here now. So I'd rather let the music do the talking, as in, you know what I mean?
I'm so tired of putting you guys on the spot. I am really sorry.
It's good, it's all good. That was dope.
That was dope.
But yeah, I think a lot more collaboration like this needs to happen. I think that's really what I can say. Like, I feel like I learned a lot, and he's really teaching me, but just not in a preachy way, but just showing me the ways and showing me the vibes, and also just his level of like being on the microphone. He's just a proper MC. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about microphone champion, master of ceremony, like, that's him. So you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. So innit?
I mean, when them talk about producers, producer that, not no jolting. You know what I mean? I've got to be humble to the next generation of producers. You know what I mean? I might be old school and think I might know it all, but I still learn off the next generation, because they're teaching me some new things. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing about the music. It doesn't matter what generation, we all just got to, like, embrace each other, because we can still learn off each other. And we need to do that to be able to move the music forward.